Have you ever sat in a darkened room in a circle with several friends, attempting to communicate with the spirits of long-departed loved ones? Was it a spirit circle or a proper seance? Then you can thank these two girls, or blame them. That really depends on what you believe. These girls are the Fox sisters, Kate and Margaret, born in the early 1800s from Hydesville, New York. And they, and their sister Leah, were famous. Their rise to 19th century stardom began in Hydesville, New York, where the girls and their parents moved into a small cottage, already reputed to have paranormal activity. The girls' mother allegedly experienced strange raps and knocks in the home. On March 31st, 1848, a pivotal date to modern spiritualism, the two younger daughters, Kate and Margaret, or Maggie, took their home's alleged spirit to task. They and their families sat around the kitchen table and asked questions to the mysterious presence. By all accounts, from the family at least, the knocking and rapping responses came back loud and clear. The family was so astounded, their investigations continued. They even determined the name of the spirit infesting their home, a peddler named Charles B. Rosna, who'd been the victim of murder. What really occurred behind the wooden walls of that cottage, we might never know. But word quickly spread of the adolescents' abilities to speak with the dead through a supernatural ability and a simple wooden table. The frenzy for communicating with the dearly departed and the rise of the spiritual medium took off, and over the next several decades, took root. We have to keep in mind that during the 1800s, when seances were first becoming popular, our personal and societal relationships to death and dying were much more apparent during the average person's lifetime. When a family member passed away, the funerary practices used to take place within the home, and losing loved ones to the circumstances common during that century was the bitter reality of life at that time. With the national upheaval of the Civil War in the 1860s, and more inventions in modern science disrupting traditional Western Christian beliefs, much of America was ready and willing to embrace all the possibilities spiritual mediumship had to offer. Parlors across America and Europe soon bore witness to gatherings of friends and family circled around a table in the dark. It became so popular, it was considered a family pastime, and the frequency of an in-home family seance was surprisingly high. Even in this house, where Mary Todd Lincoln took up trying to communicate with her son William after his passing in 1862. Some people at the time chose to attend seances in the presence of a particular person who identified as a spiritual or psychic medium. That person acted as the physical conduit between the world of the living and the dead. If two teenagers could get knocking responses from spirits, who's stopping anyone from channeling those spirits right through their own body? With the craze of seances came the medium, and often they came with quite a show. We've all seen photos of spooky, sticky ectoplasm, but hustling is hustling and people will be people. As with any profound claim of a supernatural sort, investigations into seances and the charlatans of the time were numerous. The debunking of several renowned mediums pushed the seance trend further to the fringe of the growing occult movement of the early 1900s, but it could never fully eliminate it. Famous magician Harry Houdini worked tirelessly to debunk spiritualism and the fraudulent practices of mediums and seances during his lifetime. Before his death in 1926, he and his wife Bess agreed that if she reaches out to him in a seance, he'll say the words, "Rosabelle, believe," so she'll know it's him. She tried annually to reach his spirit through seance, but concluded she never could. The annual Houdini seance still takes place yearly to this day, put on by his supporters and fans. I think they're still waiting to hear from Houdini himself, though. The process and methods of the seance, or spirit circle, has altered course as we've gone into the digital age, but the basics are still in place after all this time. While the original home of the Fox sisters is now gone, the stone foundation remains intact in Hydesville, New York. If you'd like to see more information about how to visit this iconic spot of spiritualism, visit the Haunted History Trail of New York State website at hauntedhistorytrail.com. If you visit, you might even hear some raps and knocks if you listen very closely. Oh, and that ghostly murdered peddler the girls spoke of in the Fox family home, Charles Rosna? In the 1950s, human bones were found buried in the wall of the home. It's not up to me to tell you what to believe, but you have to admit, it's all pretty dark and mysterious.